Welcome, everyone. Happy Martin Luther King Day, and thank you all for joining us. My name is Dr. Claudine Bonner, and I'm the Vice-Provost of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at Acadia.
I see these students as such inspirations. I see these students as the promise for tomorrow. I see them as being people who recognize the need for change and simply going out and doing it.
Sometimes the first time they've heard about consent, more than just like a word in a blurb, is when they get here for their first week. Meanwhile, they've been sexually active for several years already.
Hearing those voices and being able to provide a platform for them, or being able to provide some kind of context where they can get their message out, is something that I think is important. I got started in terms of being a change maker or an advocate. I don't even see myself that way, to be totally honest. It's more to do with realizing people don't know, for example, Black Canadian history, and thinking, okay, if it's not in the curriculum, how can I get people to know? And so I got my friends to come on campus to do events, and we started doing these things annually.
Hello, my name is MJ Edwards. I'm from the Bahamas and I'm a social advocate. And just to quickly go over all the questions that were asked,
Stepping outside of the Bahamas has been a really good experience for me because it gives me a perspective to look to the Bahamas from an outsider's perspective. If you look through Bahamian history, you'll find that often Bahamians are in a state of servitude. Before it was slavery, then it was indentured servitude, and now it's Bahamians being basically bred to act in the tourism industry. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to use all of the influence that I have to actually advocate for these problems and to help educate people and help them understand that the Bahamas is a country you should like to live in, but it could always be better.
Advocacy is so...
Acadia was founded with a charter to welcome people from all races and creeds and backgrounds. And that was a remarkable charter, particularly at that time. That's one of the reasons why Acadia was the first Nova Scotia university to graduate a female, and was also the first university in Nova Scotia to graduate somebody from the African Nova Scotian community. When we were looking at our strategic plan, we felt that we weren't doing everything that we needed to do to make sure that we were continuing those values and making sure that we were supporting the increasingly diverse student body that we have today. And so Dr. Bonner's appointment, I think, is a milestone for Acadia because it moves us forward in ways that we would not be able to do if we didn't have her kind of expertise around the decision-making table at the university.
Racialized people on this campus are few and far between in terms of faculty and staff and administration. But I do think once the door is open, it's open. You go out there and you just do what you can to make change where you are. So if you are able to get over the fear, step in and do what your part is, whatever it is. And don't be intimidated by this idea that I have to change the world. You're just changing this little thing here. And maybe that will become the big thing. But just start here and see what happens.